right, so a box of candy holds, I'm gonna guess that that is 10 and 1/2 and not 101 divided by 2. I'm gonna guess.
10 and 1/2.
Okay, I'm gonna rewrite it because if not, my brain is gonna hurt. So this is 10 and 1/2 pounds. How many 3/4 pound boxes of candy can you put in the bin? So we have the entire box, and I'm gonna divide it by the size of each of these little boxes, 3/4, and that's gonna tell me how many boxes fit inside the bin. Because if I take the entire thing and I divide it by these little boxes, I will know how many fit. Now, this is a lot of fractions, and I know you guys love fractions so much. They're like your best friends and you love them so much. So let's deal with them. So first of all, 10 and 1/2, that's a mixed number. We do not work with mixed numbers. They're annoying. So let's convert this. Multiply and then add. So this is going to be 21/2. So I'm going to replace this with 21/2 pounds. And at the bottom, it's 3/4. Now, we are dividing a fraction by a fraction. So when we have that, we're going to go ahead and keep, change, flip. We're going to keep the first fraction exactly the same, change the division to a multiplication, and then we're going to flip the second fraction upside down, or in other words, you're going to do the reciprocal. Now, I've always told you guys you have two options when you're multiplying fractions. You can simplify first, divide later, or you could, simplify first, multiply later, or you could multiply first, simplify later. Either way, you get the exact same answer. Personally, I like to simplify first because it means I will work with smaller numbers. So how do you simplify before you multiply? You're going to look at the numbers diagonally. 21 and 3. I know that I can divide 21 by 3, and I know I can divide 3 by 3. So if I divide this by 3, and I divide this by 3, this becomes 7, and this becomes 1. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I know that I can divide this by 2, and I can divide this by 2. So 2 divided by, oops, did not mean to erase. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So what do we have now? Now we have 7/1 times 2/1, which equals to 14 boxes. Now again, if you wanted to, instead, you could have just done, what is this, 21 and then 4/3. You could have just done 21 times 4, which would have been 84, and you divide that by 6, and you could have done the division, and you would have still gotten 84. That's fine. I prefer to simplify first and then multiply, but if you prefer to multiply first and then simplify, that is perfectly fine. Okay? You get the same answer anyways. Any questions on these ones?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. A carpet costs $7 per square yard. How much will it cost a 16-foot and 18-foot carpet? So this is two types of problems. Can you guys tell me what kinds of problems what kind of topics are mixed in here?
Proportion.
Okay, we're gonna need a proportion, yes. And what else do we have in this problem? What else do we need to calculate in this problem?
The unit conversion?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. So there's 3 parts. So yes, we have a unit conversion. I didn't even notice the unit conversion, but yes, we have a unit conversion because they mentioned feet here and they mention yards here, but it's not just yards, is it? It's square yards. And whenever we have units squared, it means we're working with what?
Area.
Yes. So we got three things going on here. First, we got a unit conversion. Second, we got area. And third, we need a proportion. So let's take care of the unit conversion first. Here we have 16 feet and we have 18 feet, and we want to convert them to yards. So we're going from a small unit to a big unit. So should I multiply or should I divide?
Divide.
Yes, we're going to divide. And how many feet are in 1 yard?
16 feet.
Mm,
Is it 3?
Yes, there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So that means that I'm going to divide this by 3. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that's a nasty decimal. So I'm going to tell you to just leave it as a fraction. And then we're going to do 18 divided by 3. That's a pretty one. That's just going to be 6 yards. All good there.
She's like, oh, this one is easy, but this one you better leave
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to tell you right now, one of them is cute and the other one ain't. That's all I'm going to say. So we did the unit conversion, done. The second step is we need to calculate the area. How do I know I need to calculate area? Because they mentioned square yards. Square anything, squared feet, square centimeters, square inches. Any unit to the second power means you are working with area. So since we have the measurements for the length and the width, we're going to calculate the area, which means the area is going to equal to 16 over 3 times 6. Whenever you have a whole number times a fraction, you just multiply the top times the whole number. So 16 times 6 would be 6, carry the 3, that would be 96 divided by 3. So 96 divided by 3 is 32, I think. Double check, but I think it's 32.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is 32 squared yards. That is the area. That was step 2. So now step 3 is the proportion. Step 3 is it costs $7 for 1 squared yard. And we have a total of 32 squared yards. So we need to figure out how much money that's going to cost. We cross multiply and divide. And the amount of money that it will cost will be 32 times 7 divided by 1. Doesn't change anything. 14, carry the 1, 22. So it's going to cost you $224.
I like to ask how you figure out the 16 divided by 3 times 6? How you did that? How you know that?
Wait, what? Wait, what? Ask the question again?
Where did you get the 16 divided by 3 times 6? Step 2.
Oh, because here it's square yards. So I know I need to do area. And it's a carpet. So I'm assuming it's a rectangular carpet because they only give me a length and a width. So length times width would be the first measurement times the second measurement.
Okay, I see.
Anything else in this question before I go to the next one? No? Okay. You need 4 sections of wood. Oh, what is up with you guys and like wood cutting problems? You need 4 sections of wood. Each one is 3 feet and 8 inches long. If the board is only sold by the foot, what is the shortest length of board you can buy? I don't know, man. This is why I don't go to Home Depot, because these types of questions frustrate me. Okay. We need 4 sections, and each one is 3 feet and 8 inches. But it's only sold by the foot. So that tells me I need to convert this to just feet, just like in that first problem. So we got 3 feet and 8 inches. We need to make this feet. So since we're going from inches, a small unit, to feet, a big unit, are we going to multiply or divide?
Multiply.
Divide.
We're going to divide. Remember, if you're going
Divide.
from a small unit to a big unit, you divide. If you go from a
Yes.
big unit to a small unit, you
multiply.
multiply. I'm going to show you something.
Mhm.
It's gonna seem really stupid, but let me tell you something. I learned it in 5th grade, and to this day, I still do it. So if you use your little fingers, if you going from a big unit to a small unit, you multiply. And if you're going from a small unit to a big unit, you divide. Like the little fingers make a division sign. So anyways,
Mhm.
sounds stupid, but let me tell you, I still do it to this day. So 8 divided by 12. Is that gonna give me a nasty decimal? No, it's not. It's a pretty decimal. So that's gonna be 8 divided by 12. That's the same thing as 2/3. Oh no, that's a nasty decimal. Don't turn that to a decimal. That's feet. So this is gonna be 3 2/3 feet. Are we okay up to that point with the unit conversion? Yes?
Yes.
And again, I'm leaving
I
it as
have
a
a
fraction.
question.
Yeah.
Why can't you just divide both top and bottom by 2?
You could, but then you're gonna have 4/6, and then you can divide 4/6 again. You can divide both of them by 2.
Yeah, same thing. I didn't think about it like that.
That's okay. So, okay, so this is the total piece that we have. 3 2/3. And again, mixed numbers are not friendly, so let's change that into an improper fraction. So that's going to become 9 plus 2. That's going to be 11/3 feet. That is how much each section has to be.
Why did you divide the 12 by 8 for the inches per feet?
Why did I divide 12 by 8? No, I divided 8 by 12.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have the sections in just feet. Now we need a total of 4 sections. So I'm going to take that 11/3 and I'm going to multiply that by 4. And that's going to give me what? 44/3. Ugh, that's going to be a nasty decimal. So let's just turn that into a mixed number because we need to know what is the smallest full piece we can buy. So we're going to buy a piece that is going to be just a little bit longer than what we actually need. We're going to have some left over, but oh well. So 44 divided by 3. And this is going to be 4, so that'll be 12. So this is going to equal to 14 2/3 feet. So if you buy the 14-foot one, you're not going to have enough because you need 14 2/3. So if you buy a piece that is 14, you're not going to have enough for your sections. So the smallest one that you can buy would actually be 15 feet because it's if you're rounding up from 14 2/3, you just round up to the next whole number and that would be 15. You're going to have a little bit left over, but it's the smallest piece you can buy because if you buy smaller than that, you're not going to have enough. Does that make sense as to why it's 15 and not 14? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you pass, oh, that's a sad problem. Wait, if you passed 7 ASVAB quizzes and failed 3, the fraction of quizzes you passed is what? Oh, okay. Okay, so we have passed 7 and then failed 3. But in total, how many did you take? 10. So if I want to know the fraction of quizzes I passed, I would take the number of past quizzes divided by the total number of quizzes that I took, which would be 7 out of 10. Which is great because that means that's a 70%. Any questions on this one? No? No? Okay. A rectangle is 8 inches long and its diagonal is 10 inches. Okay, we're gonna have to draw this one out. Oh, I like this problem. Oh, I'm gonna steal this problem. I'm gonna use it on TikTok. Okay. So they tell me that it's 8 inches long, so this is 8 inches, and the diagonal, meaning like this measurement here, is 10 inches, and we want to figure out this measurement right here. This is fun. I like this one. Believe it or not, you're gonna use one of the triangle formulas. Do you know which triangular formula you're gonna use? No, it's okay. So if you kind of cut this rectangle and you only pay attention to just this piece right here. So if we only pay attention to this piece, what we have is we have a right triangle, because in a rectangle, every single corner is going to be a right angle. So what we have here is a right triangle that here we're looking for x, this measures 8, and this measures 10. And what is the famous formula that we use when we have right triangles?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yes, ma'am. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And this is called the Pythagorean theorem. So in a right triangle, A, B, and C are specific people. In a right triangle, this right here, this long section right here, is called the hypotenuse, not the hippopotamus, the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is always going to be C. Always. It never changes. It's always C. It doesn't really matter who A and B is. A and B can be whoever you want, but it can't be the hypotenuse. So that means that when we plug in numbers to our formula, the 10 has to go here, and it doesn't really matter who goes into A and B. Let's just say A is X, and let's say B is the 8. Everybody follow me okay up to this point?
Yes.
So now we're going to just go ahead and figure out X. So X squared plus 8 to the second power is 64. 10 to the second power is 100. We subtract 64 from both sides. So X squared is going to equal to 36. And now I don't want X squared. I just want X. So to cancel out a square root, to cancel out a squared, you're going to use a square root. So X is going to equal to the square root of 36, which would be 6. So 6 inches. Oh, this is wrong. What happened here? Are you sure the answer choices go with this? Because all the information was in inches, and now all of a sudden it's talking about feet, and I don't know. I know we did everything right, but those answer choices are wild. It should not be in feet.
150 and all of them. And it's even in feet, not inches.
Yeah, it's in feet and not inches. Like even if I convert 6 inches to feet, that's 0.5 feet. It ain't gonna be any of those. So you know what I like to do whenever a problem like this shows up? I just do that. And we're done with that. So anyways, now I'm allowed to do that just because I don't know where you got these questions from. I don't know where you got that question from, but I don't know. I'm gonna guess that maybe there was a typo on the answer choices, because like that makes no sense. Like it makes absolutely no sense. Everything we did was 100% correct. I vouch for it. I put my stamp of approval on it. The answer is 6 inches. Okay. George has spent $789.37 at a home improvement store A store-wide sale offers an 11% rebate on everything in store. If he paid a 6% sales tax, how much rebate should he get? Okay. The idea of rebate is you're getting money back. So you spent a certain amount of money and then they give you money back. Now, that rebate is on how much money you actually spent at the store, like as in like how many things you bought. It does not include the taxes. So what do I mean by that? Let me give you a very basic example. Let's say I went and bought this pen at the store, and this pen cost me, I don't know, $5. That's a very expensive pen. $5. And if they said, hey, you're going to get 1% back, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get 1% back. Actually, no, let me use $10. Let's say I spent $10 on this pen. If I spend $10 on this pen, and I'm going to get 10% back, I'm going to get 10% back on the $10. But I didn't actually spend $10. I had to pay taxes, which means here in Florida, the taxes are 7%. So I paid $10.70 for this pen, but I'm only going to get rebate on the $10, not on the 70 cents that I had to pay extra. So what does that mean? It means that I need to first calculate what was the original amount of money I spent before taxes were added. Once I have that number, then I calculate the 11% rebate on that number. So we're going to use the percent proportion twice. So for the first one, the percent proportion should look like this. So I don't know what was the original amount of money that I spent before they added taxes. So that is the amount that we're looking for. We do not know what the original number was. The only thing we do know is that after they added taxes, I spent $789.37. And they said that that was an added on 6% sales tax. So the percent that I'm going to put here is the percent of what I spent, which was 100% of everything I bought, plus a 6% tax, which means I'm going to have 106% go here. Does that make sense so far? Is that clear to everyone?
Makes sense so far.
Okay. So let's go ahead and cross multiply and divide to figure out how much did we spend before they added taxes. So cross multiply and divide. So x is going to equal to 789.37 times 100, everything divided by 106. So that's going to be 789.37 divided by 106. Ugh, this is going to be a long division, but that's okay. All right, so let's see what we got. We're going to have, that's going to fit in there 7 times. 7 times 6 is 42. Carry the 4. That's 0 plus 4, and that's 7. So that's going to be 7, 4. Bring down the 3. That's going to fit in there 4 times. So that'll be 24. Carry the 2. 0 plus 2, and that's 4. So this is going to be 9, 4. Bring down the 7. Once again, that's only going to fit in there 4 times. So that's going to be the same thing. 3, 7. Then I put a decimal and add a 0. That's going to fit in there 6 times. So that's going to be 36. Carry the 3. 0 plus 3 is 3, and that's 6. And this is going to be 4, 9. Add a 0, bring it down. And I'm going to stop at this one because since it's money, I like to go at least to the second decimal point because, I mean, the second place after the decimal, because of course, you know, it's money. So that's the place we usually stop at. So anyways, this is going to be, I'm going to say 9. So that's going to be 54, carry the 5. That'll be 0 plus 5 is 5. And that'll be 9. Nope, nope, that's too big. So it's going to have to be 8. It's going to have to be 8. So this is going to be 8, 48, 4, 8. And I don't really care what the leftover is. I know it's going to be 8. That's all that matters. So this is going to be about $744 and $68. That is more or less the amount of money you spent before they applied taxes to it. All right. Now that I know that value, my second step is to calculate 11% of that, and that's how much rebate I'm going to get back. So I'm going to use that same number. 11%, 100, and we're going to find out how much rebate we're going to get back. So we're going to repeat the process of cross multiply and divide. So the rebate is going to equal to 744.68 times 11, everything divided by 100. So 744.68 times 11, that's going to be 86447, 86447. 8, 14, carry the 1, 11, carry the 1, 9, 11, carry the 1, 2, and we need 2 numbers behind the decimal point. So we'll have 2191.48 divided by 100, which means the rebate should be around $21.91. Again, the 48 is there, but because this is money, we usually cut it off there. So more or less, you should be getting back $21.91. And that was a really long problem. It's not long, it's just a lot of calculations to it. So there
Where
you
you
go.
got the 2 from?
The 2?
Where the 7 minus.
I
the
don't know
1
where I got that
minus-
2 from. I don't know because I'm crazy. That's where I got the 2 from because I'm crazy. That's 8. It's 8. It's not 2. I'm just crazy. Sorry. Alrighty. So I know there's a couple of questions I didn't get a chance to cover, but I promise I will do them tonight in our 8 p.m. class. So I'm going to go ahead and save all of our wonderful work as a PDF. And if you guys would like me to send you a copy of today's notes so you guys can use them to study on your own, that is perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and put my email on the chat. All you have to do is just send me a quick email and say, hey, can I get the notes from today's daytime class? So that way I know which
Please
ones
do
to send
so.
you. I'm sorry?
Please do so.
Yeah, just go ahead and send me an email and that way I can send it to you because if I try to memorize all of your emails, I promise you I ain't gonna do that. So if you want the notes, just go ahead and send me a quick email to that email that I just put on the chat and I will send them to you guys. All right. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I hope to see you guys today in our 8 p.m. class. Bye guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.